Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. Let's get up my first comic of the day, my man Howie Bell. How you doing, bro?
What's up, my brother? How you been, man?
I'm doing okay.
How
I'm
was your
doing. Thanks for
weekend?
joining. Yeah, good to see you, bro. How was your weekend? Good. Your weekend good?
Oh man, it was beautiful, man. I had a good time in Chicago this weekend. Great.
There it is. My man, filmmaker Jason Hayes, also in the building. Jay, how you doing, sir? How's everything?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? All this love over here, brother, for real.
What up, my
Yeah, I love
man? It's good.
What
So,
up, though?
before we jump into this, man, I want to discuss, the NBA playoffs, man. I want to,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna dive into too deep and everything else, but I want to just ask you. I'm gonna start with you, Howie, first, man. We're gonna do this NBA discussion first. Talk to me, Howie. Tell me what your thoughts are on Houston Rockets getting bounced from the NBA playoffs in a surprising fashion by Golden State Warriors, bro. What's your take on that?
Is it really a surprising fashion, though?
Good
Is
point.
it really? I think that the Golden State Warriors have had their card for a lot of years, man.
Mm-hmm.
They can't. I mean, honestly, they can't beat these boys. When is the last time they beat Golden State in the series? I can't even remember.
I don't think it
I
ever
mean,
happened.
so I don't exactly. So I don't think it's a surprising thing. They just one of those teams that just got their card, they got their number. It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? They had their chances. They tried. Hey, man, look. Hey, Golden State, man. You're looking at an epic team full of Hall of Famers, bro. So I mean, what do? You can't beat them. What you got to do?
Yeah. I mean, you summed it up real quick. Okay, Jay, talk to me about what you think, bro. What you think?
I think that what we saw was Golden State taking their shot while they can still take their shot against Houston. I mean, we saw experience beat out youth. But I'm telling you, them boys is coming, bro. I mean, they are another season, 2 seasons, or maybe a savvy veteran coming in away from sweeping them boys. I'm telling you, they got that much talent down there. So what I saw was a team too young and inexperienced to beat the vets that knew how to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. You know what I think, bro? This is what I think, guys. I think they are one Kevin Durant away from getting their
For
number.
real.
You know, they just
Or Giannis or whatever. Yeah.
One veteran who's been in the mix for a long time away from being able to get to the NBA Finals. That's what I.
But how long have they been saying that? How many years have they said all we need is one piece and we can get back? Let me tell you something, man. It could happen,
but they did not have Ime Udoka, and they didn't have that Jalen Green. But those boys are
they got talent, man.
They got talent. Unlike, Kobe said it perfectly a little while ago. He said what Houston used to do is they used to always run everything through James Harden, and it was easy to defend that way. You know what I mean? Because they knew it was coming this way. The way these boys could attack you, they could attack you in every facet of the game. You know what I mean? Down low, up top, screen, pick, like they could cover it all. Versus before, they couldn't do that. You know what I mean? And Kobe put them out there years ago. So I don't know. But let me ask you this, Howard, before we move on.
Yeah.
We got OKC versus Denver, Golden State versus Minnesota, Cleveland versus Indy, and Boston versus New York. Which playoff series are you most interested in seeing?
Oh boy. That's crazy that you asked me that, because probably Boston and New York.
Really?
Yeah, because I wanna see if it was a fluke that New York beat the Pistons, or are they for real? And if they for real, I'm not saying they can beat Boston, but take them to the limit. Let me see if you could take Boston to the limit. And I want to see if all of this hype or whatever I want to see if you did, because y'all went against a young Detroit team that was inexperienced. Talk about inexperience. You know what I'm saying? They're young, but they fast and they got a future. But let me see what you can do, because I don't know. I think New York is a little bit overhyped, and I'm very interested to see how this series is gonna go.
Honestly, I think that trade hurt them more than anything, and letting that guy, I can't think of his name.
Julius Randle.
No, the big white dude who the Knicks had, and they gave him the OKC. You know what I mean?
No. He's not white. He's black, bro. Hartenstein. He's a black dude. He looked white, but he's a black dude.
Okay, well, that
Hartenstein.
dude, Hartenstein, if you ask me, I've been saying to all my Knicks fans, he's the one that they should not have let go because he was
Yeah.
the heart and the anchor of the Knicks, the entire Knicks team. If you ask me,
He was the glue guy for
especially
sure.
especially the way he played against the Sixers last year. All right, but I'm gonna ask you the same question, Jay. Which NBA playoff series are you most interested in seeing?
Yeah. First, I want to, I'm not surprised that Howie wants to see the Boston Knicks game because Boston's really good. So this is the equivalent of him going to go get his big brother after get his ass whooped down the street.
Right.
He want to see Boston.
Right.
He want to see Boston beat the Knicks up.
I
Now.
want to see him whip their ass. Right.
I'm going to get my brother now.
They gonna sweep y'all.
That's a great analogy. That's a great analogy.
You know what I'm saying? When he said, I was like, oh, man, you know it ain't going to be no good series, Howard. You want your get back.
Yeah.
But the series I really want to see, believe it or not, Golden State, Minnesota. I'm wondering if Golden State savvy can overcome the size and youth of Minnesota. Because Golden State's small too. I mean, and that's how they punished the Lakers. The Lakers were too small. Deal with Gobert and their length and the deal with Ant. So Jimmy Butler will be key to that series. If Jimmy Butler can't slow Ant down, Minnesota's gonna run through them boys, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good series.
That's gonna be a good series.
I think it would be a good series too. Me, obviously, I want to see the Celtics because that's my team. But I also have a lot of interest. A lot of interest in this Indiana and Cleveland, especially after Indiana ended up beating them boys for the first game. I don't know if that was a fluke. I don't know if it's going to go 7. I don't know what's going to happen. But Indiana is surprising me because nobody's talking about them, and they're better than they were last year. You know what I mean? Like nobody's talking about them. Everybody's looking past them. And to me, Indiana is a scary team. Cleveland's a scary team too, but Indiana is a scary team, especially since they made that trade middle of the season. They're scary, and people just overlook like, yeah, the Pacers, no problem. Okay, well, Pacers about to show everybody they're about to be a problem, and he might give Cleveland the business. That's what I'm really interested in seeing.
I don't believe in Halliburton.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't believe in Halliburton. I know Siakam gonna ball.
Yeah.
I know that center's gonna ball, but I don't know. Like Halliburton, Spinkler get like this in them big games, man. He like a Game 7 James Harden. You know what I'm saying? Except for a series.
And this would be his chance to prove it. Like right now, he's already did it in this playoff series and in this playoff run so far. He's already shown, that he's the man so far. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not even a Halliburton fan, but I do like the way the Indiana Pacers are playing right now. These boys are balling. I love NBA playoffs, which brings me into my top 5 duos in NBA history. I like talking about duos like that all the time because to me, duos helps you. Well, it used to make you get a championship. Duo, you need more than 2 now to get a championship.
Yeah.
So let me just start out with you, Howard. You tell me I got a couple of things I want to say first, but duos don't get you championships no more, but they definitely get you down, that ball rolling. Give me your top 5.
Well, they can get you championships. You've got a lot of good role players. It just depends on, the coaching. I think everything comes down to coaching, but I got to go with, I don't know if these are in any order because they all incredible, but I'm going to start with Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. I just think that was one of the most incredible duos in NBA history, and they got the record to prove it, and the titles and everything else. So, I got to put them in there, man. It's up there. A lot of people give LeBron James such a hard time, even with this. Just a side note with them getting bounced out right now in the playoffs. Do they understand how long this brother been playing for? 22 years.
22.
22 years. He's been to the NBA Finals
11 times.
10 times. I was about to say 10. 11 times.
Mm-hmm.
That means half of his career, literally 50% of the time, he went to the finals.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, and I was one to honestly say early in his career, I was very skeptical of them, comparing him to Jordan and Kobe for that matter, because I still think Kobe is number 2, Jordan's 1. I do. But I just think that people give LeBron James a hard time, and I tell you for nothing, it's kind of for nothing. So, and that's me getting older and mature in my sports maturity.
I
You know
like
what I'm
that.
saying?
I like that. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
LeBron James, Dwayne Wade. I got to go Shaq and Kobe Bryant.
Mhm.
That's a no-brainer. I guess you like you say that's low-hanging fruit. Shaq and Kobe Bryant probably the best duo in NBA of all time. They may be number one. I just don't know who to put at
Right.
number one. But just them two alone and how incredible they were as players individually. Just the
Mhm.
way that they linked up and played on the court, despite they had a lot of off-court issues too. You know what I'm saying? But hey man,
Like dry snitching.
yeah, the dry snitching. I mean, Kobe, Shaq choked him up, snatched him up a couple times. I mean, but Kobe was young. You know what I'm saying? And he was a great player, but he was young. Um, and I gotta go Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. No surprise there, Detroit.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. That combination right there was, that was the epitome of basketball. They played both sides. They played the defense. They played the offense. They could shoot threes. They could take you to the hole. They was known for going to the hole and drawing the foul. I mean, these two were the best guard tandem, if you really want to know about it, out of everybody because
Mhm.
they
Yep.
were both guards. You know what I'm saying? So you had the shooting guard, a point, and I mean, what else do you do, man? You got these two guys, Joe Dumars, Isaiah Thomas, two of the best, Detroit's finest. Detroit's finest. I'm sorry, but I had to put this on there as much as I hated them when I was a kid, but Larry Bird and Kevin McHale, Jesus Christ. They got to be two of the
They were
best,
tough.
man, to ever do it. I mean, I hated. I wanted Lambeer to knock out McHale so many times, and he just was long and lengthy. And Larry Bird, of course, being who he was, they were nonstop, the epitome of the two great white hypes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they should be Boston probably proud of that too. They're like, we
Oh
got
yeah.
two of the sweetest white boys of all time. Um, and so I got to give it up for them, man. And I think that's my top right there. That's five, right? Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
that's
That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's fine.
that's top. That's
Uh,
top.
Brother Jason, give me yours, man. Give me yours.
So hearing Howie's list, man, you would think that like we was on the phone this weekend, like teenage girls talking. Ooh, I'm gonna put that down too. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Ooh, I'm gonna say that.
Because for me, I cannot not have Shaq and Kobe on this list, bro.
Damn right.
Listen, they did a three-peat and went to 4 straight NBA finals
Mm-hmm.
before running to the Pistons, ripping them, tore that ass up, in that
Yeah.
gentleman suite, in the fourth
Yep.
one.
Yep.
But a three-peat and 4 straight finals. Shaq was unguardable, man. And Kobe was just becoming Kobe too. You gotta have him on there. I'm gonna go with the other one that we had on the list, Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Bro, both played D, both could score, both incredibly smart, tough-minded, when
Yep.
scared of the moment, man, stone cold killers. You gotta have the dynamic duo because I mean, it was really the only two legitimate scorers on the team outside of Vinny Johnson coming off the bench. You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying? Other than that, all their points pretty much came through those two people.
That's right.
I gotta go. I hate it, man. I gotta go Stockton and Malone, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
You know
good
what I'm
duo.
saying?
That's good,
John
though.
John Stockton retired the all-time assist leader. Like 12,500 assists. And
Yeah.
when Karl Malone retired, he was second in scoring. Karl Malone got 37,000 points.
Right.
Dude, that's work. You know what I'm saying? You got the number 1 assist leader and the number 2 leading scorer ever to play together. They got to be on your list. That's a dynamic duo. Now, this is fun for me. Gary Payton and Sean Kemp.
Mm-hmm.
I loved
Okay.
that Seattle squad and the way those dudes played together and played off each other. Rain Man, and
Yeah.
GP throwing that thing up, Sean Kemp dunking on dudes and pointing at him and laughing, getting dapped. That's how nasty it was. And number 1, no, not number 1. Oh, yeah, I go number 1. I'm going to go Magic and Kareem. They got 5 championships together, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kareem retired, the all-time leading scorer. Magic top 3, top 4 in assists when he retired.
Yeah.
And they had 8 finals appearances together and won 5.
Yeah.
That's a dynamic duo, man. Can't leave them
Yeah.
off. Honorable mention, Steph and Clay.
I like your list. Now let me just say this. My list is a lot of low-hanging fruit, but I also tried to be a little bit different because I knew y'all was gonna hit some of the guys I mentioned. So I said, let me just go through my list real fast. For me, and I'm gonna do it real fast. For me, it's Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown coming in at 5. Because obviously,
No.
I think they doing some work right now and have been ever since both of them dudes been in the league. They both have been to the playoffs every single year. So I had to add them. Number 4 for me got to be LeBron. What's his middle name? Jay? What's his middle name?
LeBron Ramon James,
There you
baby.
go. Ramon James.
Ramon.
There you go. And Dwayne Wade. I think when they were there together, bro, that tandem right there was, they did work.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me, got to be Shaq with Penny Hardaway.
Yes.
When I saw them play, I was like, man, if Shaq stays there with Orlando, which I think he's gonna, at the time I was saying that, I literally think that they're gonna get about 3 or 4 of them chips. I think they're gonna do it. Shaq messed that all up by leaving the Lakers. Penny ends his knee. We all know the history. Penny never gets a chip, which sorry to say. Number 2 for me, KG and Paul Pierce. Obviously, where I go for that. Like that. I was trying my best not to hit the ones I knew you guys was gonna hit. So, and number 1 for me is these boys.
And now Michael across the lane. Good feed to Pippen for the open jumper. Got Gill spotted up, and Curry takes the outside shot. Grant the rebound up court to Jordan. Michael a flip to Pippen. It's pretty.
I don't think I need to say anymore, right?
Yeah.
And was that Daddy Curry? Was that Steph Curry's daddy?
And no, that was Michael Jordan.
No, what Curry did the announcer talk about?
He was talking about Daddy Curry. Yeah.
Daddy Curry.
And you know why he was doing that too? Because at the time Senior Curry Senior was doing work at the time. Del Curry was really doing some work. If you all remember, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
No one knew what was coming from his seed, but that's another conversation for another day.
That's right.
Right.
Now this moves us to the most top 5 surprising blowouts. And let's do in sports history. Let's do that one because I think we did the other one. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But no, we didn't. But let's do top 5 most surprising blowouts in sports history. Howie, I know you dug in the crates for this. Howie tried to get that apple. You're the dude who used to bring the apple to the teacher, huh?
You know what? Nah, I just, sometimes I just want to know what the hell I'm talking about.
There you go. I ain't mad at you.
That's all. So, with that being said, top 5 most surprising blowouts in sports history. I got to start with the 2014 FIFA World Cup semifinals. You know what I'm talking about? You got to take it there to soccer or football, as they would say. You know what I'm saying? Football. But you know how tight soccer is. It's hard to get a point. So how that goes. Right. So in 2014, Germany blew out Brazil 7-1. If you know anything about soccer, you know
that's crazy. Yeah.
That's totally bananas. Not only that, Brazil is known for their dominance in soccer. And so that was they called it the agony of Mineirado or something like that. Like Brazil, they remember it for their biggest blowout and the worst defeat they've ever had in their sports history in soccer. And so that was huge for Germany to beat them 7-1. So that was one of the biggest blowouts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with the 2007. Now this is weird, but the score is not a blowout. The reason why they called it a blowout in 2007 in the Fiesta Bowl, the Boise State small program, non-ranked, non-power, all that, beat Oklahoma 43-42, man, in the Fiesta Bowl. That was huge at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because the small school, non-ranked, beat them in this Fiesta Bowl. It's like one of them throwaway bowls. You know what I'm saying? That Oklahoma is supposed to easily win. All that. So they considered that a blowout of expectations. 1991 NBA Finals, Game 1. the Chicago Bulls destroyed the LA Lakers 107-86, and they called that the Holy Cow game.
Yeah.
They was the heavily favored Lakers against that Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you, man, that was of course the beginning of their title runs, and that was like the beginning of Jordan kind of showing his own and showing like, hey, I'm the face now. You know what I'm saying, of the league, and that was pretty big. Even though the score wasn't as big, 107-86 against that team at that time in a finals, that was big.
Yeah.
That was huge. I'm gonna go with Super Bowl 2014, man. Oh God. The Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
They beat them 43-8
Mm-hmm.
in the Super Bowl, bro. And they had Peyton Manning and all that. They were supposed to be that hot. They was the NFL's #1 team at the time.
They were
Seattle
favorites.
came.
They were favored. They were
They was a
favored.
favorite. Yep.
Mhm.
Came in and Seattle mollywopped them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that was embarrassing. That was one of them boring Super Bowls. I think Richard Sherman all was playing at the time, if my
Yeah, they
memory is
were.
correct.
Yep.
Yeah, that defense was incredible.
Beast mode, all of them.
Yeah, beast mode, right. That was
Yeah.
that was an embarrassment, man. That was a hell of a blowout. And the last one I say, I got to go nostalgic. The 1940
Here we go.
NFL championship. Hey, that's back when the announcers would be like the 1940 National Football League championship between the Bears of Chicago and the Redskins of Washington.
I like your list.
73-0.
Dang.
I like your list. I like your list, Howie. I like your list.
73 they're still the most lopsided score in NFL champion history.
Okay, so that's Howie's list. So give me your list, Jason, of what's the most surprising blowouts in sports history to you.
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna go the Brooklyn Nets against the Clippers back in January of this year. The Clippers came in and beat them boys by 59 points. And it's surprising in that made clear to me that these boys have no chance at ever being good anytime soon. You get beat by 60, and what's wild, they got assaulted and essentially murdered on Dr. King's birthday, man. January 15th.
They sure did.
I'm like, come on, bro. I mean, that was surprising, but not at the same time. I mean, 60 points is shocking. Another I'm gonna go with this year's Super Bowl. The Eagles putting that thigh out on the Kansas City Chiefs with the orange turd monster in the arena. I loved it. It was surprising, but I loved it. I'm gonna go also 1995 Orlando Magic versus the Boston Celtics of the NBA North. Penny and them boys came in and thumped them boys in the first round, 124-77. 47 points in a playoff game, Frank.
Yeah, I know. I remember it very well.
You know what I'm saying?
Boston
The shock for me was that, it wasn't that Orlando was that good, but it was a shock. I mean, it was that Boston was that bad. You know what I'm saying? Them boys was awful.
Yeah, we couldn't hit nothing that day. Like nothing. We couldn't throw the ball in the ocean. I remember that.
And another shocker, Howie, it's amazing how this team keeps finding itself on the ass end of blowouts. The 49ers in Super Bowl 24, the 49ers beat the Denver Broncos 45-10.
Wow.
Like, they were favored to win the game, but not by 35, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been watching that game. I was dumbfounded that they got beat that bad.
Yeah.
And number one for me, I gotta go with my Jacksonville Jaguars. In the 1999-2000 season, first round, we played the Miami Dolphins. and we put it on them boys 62-7.
Jay, I knew you was gonna come out with something from home. I knew you were gonna come out with something.
I
From
got
home.
to. I'm like, how we gotta rep the crib, baby?
I knew you were gonna come out with something from home. All right, let me give mine real fast. I'm gonna go through mine real fast because this is what some of these to me were real shocking. For me, the NBA Finals against the Bulls and the Utah Jazz. That game was game 3, 96-54. I was like, whoa. And then, of course, I got to remember this. Somebody said it here, the Seattle Seahawks game against the Denver Broncos. I don't even go into that anymore. But here's another one. The Texas Rangers beat the Baltimore Orioles, and I forgot to write the year, 30-3. I thought that was an insane baseball score.
30-3?
30 runs in a baseball game, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, that means that every pitch you throw is getting hit for a home run.
Listen, you can't do that in batting practice. You know what I'm saying?
They probably had about 4 grand slams.
But that's not the worst. Listen to this. There was a college football game, right? Georgia Tech played Cumberland, and they won 222-0. 222-0. See,
they gotta be 11 helmet days, man.
Nah, it wasn't actually, bro. That was in the 70s. Actually, 80s.
Oh my God.
80s,
222-0.
200.
So every time they got the ball, they scored.
Every single time.
The whole game. Yeah, they
the whole game.
And they got and every time the other team got the ball, they scored.
Every single time.
They run one play.
Every single
They
time.
run back pick sixes.
One play.
The whole game was
all
them
pick
scoring.
sixes, all touchdowns.
The whole score. The whole game was not about them scoring. The whole game, which was hilarious. But the number
Oh my
one
God.
thing for me, let me turn my phone off. Hold a second. The number one thing for me has to be when Mike Tyson defeated Marvis Frazier, right? In 30 seconds. It was the fastest TKO ever in boxing history. The fastest.
Is that? I thought he did one faster than that. That was the fastest?
That's the fastest one. You know, I looked it up. I was like, and at the time, everybody was shocked. Dude threw one punch. He hit Tyson with one punch, and that punch was a jab. After that, it was over.
But listen,
one jab.
Hey Howie, I can see Marvis on the phone in the locker room with his lawyer. Now you say all you gotta do is get in the ring.
Right.
If I throw a punch, the money mine, right?
Yeah, that's right. And that's exactly how that rolled out.
Check gonna be the same, man. When you get your ass beat, or you throw one punch and take a knee.
That's right.
Same money.
It's exactly the same. But you also got to remember, your head will hit that pavement.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah,
it will hit, and it will be awfully hard when it hits. Okay, so I'm looking at the time. Okay, I got some time in here. Let me throw in my top 5 best black films ever made, and I'm really interested in that. Throwing it as a mixing it up, mixing some stuff up in here with some sports and everything else. I want to throw this out there, real fast, just to change the way things are flowing. You know what? I usually go first. I mean, I was going last this time. I'm going first this time, bro. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Because I know we're going to have some double dipping into this. So number 5 for me has got to be The Best Man, hands down.
Now, can I ask you, hold on, Frank. Now, when you say black films, do you mean made by a black director, produced by black, or just a black film, like black cast?
I'm saying films that featured mostly black cast.
Okay,
but if you did that the other way, I don't even care.
I did mine all Negroes everywhere.
Yeah. My man Marquise is in the building. It's usually used to be my fact checker. Marquise, how you doing, bro? How's everything?
What's going on? Everything is good. Nice to see y'all, fellas.
Let me get back to my list. Number 5 for me is The Best Man. Number 4 for me is Dead Presidents, hands down. I love Dead Presidents, man. That's every time that film comes on, I still watch it. Number 3 for me is Boomerang, classic Eddie Murphy classic. Number 2 for me is a new film, and I keep telling everybody to go see this movie, man. It's Sinners.
Yep.
Sinners is on my list, bro. Like that movie is woo. And number 1 for me, it's gonna be hard for anybody to top this. I don't care what nobody says. Is Black Panther. That movie to me is like that. That's black excellence all the way clear across the board, man. It just even to be a superhero movie, I loved it. Howie, give me your top 5 best black films ever made.
You know what? I got to go off the dome because I didn't prepare for that question. But I'm
okay.
like
Good. Good.
Just off the top of my head, it's too much of a list to really, can't really narrow this down. But I got to start with School Days. It's one of my favorite black movies of all time.
Okay.
Spike Lee, man, I got a couple Spike Lees on this list if I go just off the top of my head, but gotta go with School Days, groundbreaking at the time, and made black people want to go to college. You got to
Black
really
colleges.
give, and black colleges in particular,
That's
made
right.
people want to pledge, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It was just groundbreaking at the time. You gotta go with that as one of my top black movies. I also gotta go with, off the top of my head, Car Wash. Got to be one of the most incredible black movies ever made. The cast was incredible. I think somebody brought this up on a list not too long ago about something we talked about. But Car Wash definitely got to be, because it was groundbreaking, and that movie was incredible. Of course, with some of the funniest people, Richard Pryor, cast was incredible, all that kind of good stuff. I got to go with Black Panther. I got to put that on my list. Black Panther got to be one of the best, if not action and hero movies, but black movies in particular. It was incredible. The way they did it with the tribal thing, everything about that movie was incredible.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I had to go with that one for. And then I gotta go with, oh man, this is so hard, but I gotta go with Eddie Murphy movie, Life. I gotta go with Life. I gotta go with that as one of the best black movies. I gotta go. It's incredible. The whole cast, of course. Bernie Mac, rest in heaven. Guy Tori, all those people, man. Just a really good movie. And Tiny, you know what I'm saying? Got rest in peace as well. Want your cornbread, you know what I'm saying? All that. One of the best black movies ever.
One more.
Last one I would say is Malcolm X. Another Spike Lee movie. Probably one of the best movies that I've ever seen in my life. Cinematography, all that kind of stuff. I think they won for an Oscar for cinematography for Malcolm X, and or wardrobe or something. One of those they won for. And just kind of one of the most incredible projects Spike Lee ever put together. Those are my top 5 black movies off the top of my head.
Okay, so let me ask the filmmaker of us. Jason Hayes is in the building. Jason, give me your top 5 best black films ever made.
Well, I chose movies that, one, black cast, black director, black writers, all of that stuff. I mean, that was really important to me. But also, they're just excellent films in terms of executing the craft. So, number 5 for me, I'm going to go Friday. Friday is one of the best black movies ever made, man. So much so that it dropped 30 years ago and people are still clamoring for another Friday installment right now. They get excited every time they hear about it right now.
Literally.
Number 4, I'm going to go Love and Basketball. I think Gina Prince Bythewood is one of the most phenomenal filmmakers in the business, regardless, male, female, whatever. She is an incredible writer and director. Number 3, I'm gonna go Menace to Society. Like, to me, Menace is a better movie than Boys in the Hood. It's a better, more well done story for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking Boys, but to me, Menace is the better movie out of that.
I agree with that.
Number 2, I'm gonna go Malcolm X. The scope of it, and also it was the first time that I went to a movie that was an adaptation that was actually true to the book. Like most young black dudes, in the late 80s, early 90s, we all read the autobiography of Malcolm X. And he adapted that movie almost picture perfect to the book.
You sure
I
did.
mean, Denzel was incredible. Delroy Lindo was off the charts. Just an incredible movie, man. I mean, Spike don't get enough credit for that.
Let me add something else to that, because I had that on my list too. I just thought about this. I remember that schools was taking off.
Keep going, Jay.
Sorry about that. They were taking off school to let students go to the movie theaters to see Malcolm X.
Yeah,
that was nationwide. Do y'all remember that?
No, that was Detroit.
That was everywhere, brother. No, that was all over the country. That was a big thing.
That wasn't in Boston, bro.
black cities. Yeah, it's back. Well, Boston, we don't expect for Boston.
We don't expect Boston. Everybody added 2 extra classes.
We talking about the black cities, brother.
Okay. Go ahead, Jacob. We talking about national. I was like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Y'all took out of school to see Top Gun.
Yeah. That's what happened.
And number 1, to me, the best black movie ever made, my Morehouse brother yet again, Sheldon Spike Lee, School Days. Not School Days. Do the Right Thing.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I like
Do
your
the
list,
Right
bro.
Thing. It's like the best black movie ever made, man.
I like your list. I like your list. My fact checker who used to be on the show, he came back for a little highlight here, man. DJ Stacking Over's in the building. DJ Stacking Over, give us your top 5 best black films ever made.
Yep. I loved everybody's list, and I do got a little bit of I would say overlap. Probably no real order to mine except for number 1. But first I got The Wiz here. This movie just had a giant impact on me just because it was star-studded. I didn't like musicals much as a kid, but The Wiz was the exception. From the choreography to the singing to just
Great movie.
the adaptation of The Wizard of Oz, but seeing all black faces, that was huge. Quincy Jones on the score, all that. Next was Life. Life and Harlem Nights probably was the 2 funniest movies I ever watched growing up. Those movies, both of them really like made me establish like a real deep love for comedy as a child. Sneaking and watching Harlem Nights when I was too young to watch it with my siblings and stuff. Could probably say the whole movie word for word. Next I got Paid in Full. Paid in Full is a big movie to me because that was like around high school, and I just appreciated the adaptation of like a true story that was going on around that time. For one, Jay-Z's my favorite rapper, and that was a Rockefeller film. Dame Dash had a lot to do with that movie. Star-studded cast once again. I thought they did a good job with that. A lot of times when you have like these hip-hop movie adaptations, it's hit or miss. And I think that Paid in Full and Belly too, both of those movies were great, like hip-hop adaptations to film.
You didn't say Belly.
You said what?
You didn't say Belly.
I did say Belly. I thought Belly was very good.
Oh my God.
But there could be other reasons why I like the movie though. But anyway, next is Brown Sugar. You know, I'm not a rom-com guy at all, but Brown Sugar was one of my favorites watching growing up. I think it was much better than all the craze when I was like in high school and early college was Love and Basketball. But I think that Brown Sugar was by far a much more superior movie, better storyline, and better acting all just throughout. And score was once again just incredible. Soundtrack was awesome. And then number 1, Malcolm X. I think Malcolm X is just probably one of the best movie ever made, in my opinion. I just remember how the movie made me feel watching it, dating back from middle school and then watching it over and over again now into my adulthood. No other movie really still has the same impact on me that it did the first time I watched it.
I like your list, bro. I like your list, except for that Belly thing. Other than that,
You don't like no damn Belly, Frank.
I said except for Belly. I said except for Belly.
I'm surprised none of us mentioned Shotters.
Yeah.
That was another.
Shotters is cold, bro.
Come on, baby. That's one of the greatest.
Terrible. It's so terrible. It's a classic.
That's one of the. Hey, that's an honorable mention. Shotters, baby.
Honorable mention. Shotters.
All right, so now since Howie, since you up, Howie, I'm gonna jump into this. And we talking about the NBA playoffs. We were talking about in the NBA playoffs in full swing. Give me your, and I mean this specifically, your top 5 most surprising blowouts in the NBA playoffs and NBA playoff history. What was the thing that surprised you?
So I had a couple, man, I had to really think about too, for real. The Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Boston Celtics. How about that? Start there.
I knew you would.
The Eastern Conference.
I knew somebody was gonna get that there.
That was in 2017. You remember that year? That was a good year. They beat them 130-86. Hey, look, that was game two of the Eastern Conference Finals. So that was a surprising blowout. You know, I just didn't think that Celtics could let that happen to them.
That was 7, right?
Yeah, it was 7, but
it was 7. Yeah, but that was just game 2. Yeah.
I remember Tatum averaging 30 as a rookie against LeBron that series. But anyway,
but we ain't talking about that right now. Go ahead, keep going, Howie.
The first round of the playoffs in 1987, the Detroit Pistons versus the Washington back then Bullets. Pistons won 128-85. Come on, brother. That was a hell of a blowout, man. This shit don't get no worse than that. Chicago Bulls versus the Utah Jazz in the NBA Finals, 1998.
Yeah.
Game 3, Chicago blew them out 96-54.
That surprised you? You didn't see that blowout?
I didn't see that coming. 96-54. Come on, man. The finals, you never see them kind of blowout, but doing research, I guess you do. That was 3. And then I gotta go with the 2008 NBA Finals, Game 6. Gotta give you credit. The Boston Celtics defeated the LA Lakers 131-92.
Mm-hmm.
39-point game, man, to clinch the championship.
Yeah,
That was that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was big time. So I had to give credit back, good brother.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
I appreciate that, Howard.
All right, and so the last one I got on here is giving credit to the Boston Celtics, again, defeating the Los Angeles Lakers in 1985, which is known as the Memorial Day Massacre. 148-114 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, man. The Celtics set a record for points that game, all that kind of stuff, man. 60 points, 60% from the field and all that. What made it so big is that back then, the Lakers were the defending champions, and they had Magic and Kareem and all that, and they primed, and the Lakers bust them down. That's one of the most surprising, number one to me.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that.
I know you do.
Yeah, I love that list. Love that list. Jason, give me yours, bro.
So what's happening right now is, the benefits and the misfortune of being around a long time, like the Boston Celtics, because you've been around a long time, you've been on the front end and the back end of some ass whoopings.
Right.
Okay,
Right. You've been on both.
You've been on both sides of that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go 2008 Celtics versus Lakers.
Yep.
They was on the front side of that one. You know what I'm saying? Like they beat them boys by 39 points in a closeout game in the finals, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that means they took them boys' entire soul and they didn't even want to compete no more. That's why it stands out to me.
Don't forget this part either, Jay. I had to add this. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but don't forget this. They were losing by about 16 too. You know what I mean? They came
in
back
that game.
Yeah. Came back and won by 40.
Yeah.
That was the Rondo game.
That's big time.
Game.
Love that.
Dang. So I'm gonna go number 4 as a Heat fan on the front end and back end too. This year, 2025, man, the Heat versus the Cavaliers. Bro, them boys got beat 138-83 in a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? And that was like amongst other blowouts. I mean, every game got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So that was a disheartening thing for me. Number 3, I'm gonna go 98 Bulls against the Jazz in the finals. Man, I don't care how good Michael Jordan was, how good Pippen was. You do not expect to see a 42-point blowout in an NBA final game.
Nah.
You sure don't.
You know what I'm saying? You just don't. Nah, that should never happen. Now, another one that was surprising because I thought the boys were finished. Last year's NBA Finals, Dallas Mavericks against the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
The Mavericks in Game 4, which everybody was like, it's over, it's a wrap. Mavericks came out, shocked the world, and blew out the Celtics, in Game 5. What was it? 106-88. I didn't expect to see that, man, but it didn't matter because the next game, there's clean lockers out going to Cancun. And number 1 for me, Game 1 in the Western Conference Finals this year against the Lakers in Minnesota. I did not expect Minnesota to go into LA and do what they did to the Lakers in that first game and set the tone for the series. And it will go down. It's one of the biggest shocks for me ever.
Okay, I like your list. Stack, give me a list of the games that was the most surprising blowouts in NBA playoff history to you.
So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do all of my homework, but out of this one, I have 2 games. Okay. Mm-hmm. First is Game 6 against the Lakers, the closeout game in the 2008 NBA Finals, where the Celtics blew out the Lakers like 131-90. Was it 91 or something like that?
92.
Yep. Something like that. Yeah.
To me, that was the Rajon Rondo coming out party because, like Frank said, it was a comeback game. But y'all remember Rondo had a crazy stat line. He had like 21 points, 8 boards, 7 assists, 6 steals. He played like all game. He was just – that was the game when I realized that the Celtics had more than a big three. They had a big four. But it still took people some time to realize that. The next one that was genuinely a surprise to me, which was Game 4, I believe 2011 Western Conference Finals. It was the Dallas Mavericks versus the reigning champion LA Lakers at the time. And, you know, everybody, a lot of times they, I would say they don't really give this Dallas Mavericks championship team the credit they deserve. But they was chock full of shooters. They had Peja Stojakovic on that team. They had Jason Terry on that team. Dirk Nowitzki was an MVP that season. JJ Barea, Jason Kidd, Sean Marion, Deshaun Stevenson, all Tyson Chandler, all them dudes was on that team. They shot the lights out. They was like the Golden State Warriors before that era, the way they demolished the Lakers that game. The score was, let me see, I think they beat them by like 30. And this was, you know, Odom was the sixth man of the year that season. Kobe was, you know, in his tip-top shape. And right here, I got the score. It was 122-86. And that was in a sweep of the reigning champs in the Western Conference Finals. So those are the two I got.
Okay. All right. I like your list. At least you did something, bro. At least you did something. So let me give you my list. I think I had some overlap on this list. Let me see. Here we go. Top blowouts in NBA playoff history to me. Yeah, I got the Lakers against Golden State in the Western Conference Finals in 1973, 126-70. That's number 5. Number 4, I got the Nuggets. They came and they beat the New Orleans Hornets in Game 4, the first round, 121-63. I got the Boston Massacre. You know, we all said that about the Boston Massacre. We already mentioned about the Lakers getting demolished by the Celtics. But the number one game I had for me was when Cleveland Cavaliers defeated Miami Heat in Game 4 by 55 points. You know what I mean? And I got to do just one thing here. I got to play this one thing here because my man White Chocolate found this for me, and I just want to throw this as a gift to you all.
Championship record of 79 first-half points. And if that wasn't enough, the Celtics were thirsting for more. Casey Jones wanted to keep his team sharp. He inserted Scott Wedman, who promptly took over where Ainge left off.
I'm going to leave y'all like that. I ain't going to play the whole clip.
You know what? Hold on. Them shorts are horrible, man. Did you see them shorts look like panties?
Extra medium. Extra medium shorts, bro.
Like bloomers. I mean, I'm looking at it like Kevin McHale looked naked. He looked like he's straight up naked out there, bro. Man, I mean, he got on real tidy whities. They playing in tidy whities, bro.
That with his drawers on.
Crazy. No wonder they got so many points. And nobody want to get close.
Said panties. Hold up, that was hilarious.
Oh, I mean, all these shorts was short, but the white ones looked like they look the worst.
You know, the funny thing is, before Jordan, everybody was wearing those. You know what I mean?
Everybody was wearing short ones, but you know, anybody with the white uniforms, it just looked like you got on, you know what I'm saying, a diaper or something. It just looked horrible.
Everybody's wearing it. Everybody's
out there wearing pull-ups.
Oh my God, real pull-ups.
They're wearing Huggies pull-ups.
All right, so I want to go to the next thing, man, and I think we can run through this one pretty fast. I want to see what you got, Howie, for your top 5 athletes that you would like to see on box seats, and you can tell me why. You know, because I wasn't here when you guys put that question together. I'm interested in see what you guys wanted to say about that.
Let's go.
Talk to me, Howie. Give me a.
Well, I'd say it's so many athletes, man. I would love to see, you know, or interview or see you interview. You know what I'm saying, to see them talk. But I'm more interested on these particular players and their take on other athletes too. Right. So I gotta have Mike Tyson on there. I just want to hear Mike Tyson talk about anybody. To be honest, just his take on that. Yeah. It's no telling where he would go and how fun that interview would be, and just to see him. I want to see Sha'Carri Richardson. I want to see what I'm interested in a young athlete in their mind. and especially a young rich athlete. You know what I'm saying? And how they feel. You know, she smoked trees. She got the, you know what I'm saying, the color hair. She you know, she look like she a hood girl. So, you know,
Yep.
that's made it out. I would love to see her perspective on how she's been treated too, you know, race wise and everything else. You know what I'm saying? And her take on other athletes and things like that.
Okay.
I gotta have LeBron James on here. I want to see what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying, and what his take would be on the NBA since he's been there, because he's been there a long time. We just talked about that 22 years. It'd be interested to see how he's seen the game change over his time that he's been there, because the game has changed from the time he's gotten there till now. That would be great to see his take on other athletes and who he respects and all that, and maybe who he doesn't, or you know, and all that kind of stuff. And I gotta have Anthony Edwards on there too, because there's another young athlete who I think is incredible right now. I think he got probably one of the biggest upsides in the NBA right now. I really think this guy gonna be really good, man, for years to come. And he's a rich young black man that, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, it's just to hear what he has to say or to hear his take on different type of things will be incredible. And of course, last but not least, my main man Isaiah Thomas, Detroit Pistons legend. I would love to hear anything he has to say about that era in particular, with him and Jordan and Magic and Bird and all that type of stuff, and how he would compare it to the league right now, and you know, and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure he would say it's soft, you know what I'm saying? But I just would love to hear him talk about it, and that would be my list of the top 5 athletes I would like to see on box seats.
Okay. So give me yours, Jason. Talk to me.
So unlike Howie, I am aware of what this show is. It's about jokes over here. So I
me.
want the funny, proven funny people to come who I know gonna cut up. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna cut up when they go over here. It's 100% guaranteed. Write it down and take a picture. Number 5 for me, you might find it surprising. I want to see Jeff Teague on this show.
Okay.
If you follow Jeff Teague, you know, in social media, bro, he's like Forrest Gump. Like, he's always around, like the craziest happenings. Like, he just happened to be there when this crazy thing happened. He's everywhere. He's an excellent storyteller, right? Number 4 for me, because I'm messy, I want Lawrence Taylor, baby. I want LT to come on this thing, drunk, high, all of it, and just turn loose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Number 3, easy, low-hanging fruit, Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Barkley would be great on this show, man. You know, he's gonna say some wild stuff, you know, and it's gonna be some back and forth. You know, it's gonna be an entertaining show. Number 2, hopefully, you know, he ain't coming too coked up. I want Michael Irvin. Oh, Michael Irvin is excellent.
Yeah,
he's excellent. You know, he lets it go. And number 1 for me, man, sign him up today. I want Vernon Mad Max Maxwell.
Yes, he is hilarious.
Vernon,
excellent
storyteller. He got stories. He's hilarious, bro. Bring Vernon on right now.
Yeah, man, Vernon is the dude. I think he needs to get his own podcast. That dude is hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious.
He's hilarious. All right, man. Let me see, Stack. Did you do your homework on these top 5? Or you gonna do more?
I got my top 5. You know, let me start with Paul Pierce, the controversial character. I think he always has a interesting take. I think it could be a lot of fuel for some of y'all's jokes, considering some of his scandals he's had in the past.
You gonna ask him if he boo booed? You gonna ask him if he boo booed?
I was going actually. I'm still wondering what that was all about. Let's go with Shannon Sharp.
Oh yeah, especially right now.
It's just the timeliness at this point. You know, we just so much to ask him, so much to tell him at this point.
Yeah.
Next, I got Juju Watkins. I think she's the future of women's basketball, and I think it'd be a good time to get her. You know, especially after the injury and everything. But I know her insights she's probably geared up to go ahead and take over the WNBA. Next, probably the most, I would say, substance, you know, having player in the NBA right now, Jaylen Brown. I think he doesn't get enough camera time right now in general, or not the face of the league or anything like that, given, you know, considering how accomplished he is. So I would love to have him on here, platform him here on Box Seats, given that myself and Frank are Boston natives. And last but not least, Draymond Green. I think
That's
Draymond
a
will
good
be a
list.
perfect personality for this show. He's got his own type of humor going on, and I'm sure he's got a ton of stories to tell as well. And he tells it like it is.
I like your list, bro. All right, you make me anxious to give you my list. My list, number 5. Where we at? Number 5 for me is Kevin Durant. I want to talk to that brother so bad and ask him about his haircut line and all that. I mean, if we're gonna do jokes, man, I'm like KD, man. What's going on with the hair? Because it's box seats. I'm gonna make sure if we're gonna do this, I'll make sure everybody knows you're coming on a show that's full of comedy. Just want you to know ahead of time. Just this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna talk about. So that's what that's what we're
KD gonna Shannon Sharp your ass. He's gonna choke the shit out you.
He probably will. But it would be funny. You can't tell me y'all wouldn't be dying seeing him choking me like you can't say you wouldn't. My number 4 for me is Kyrie Irving, man, because I really want to ask him what's up with all that Indian stuff that he doing, like all that. I'm think he's like, what's wrong with you, man? I really want to talk to you about that.
So his mom is Native American, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he is. I want to ask him.
His mom is Native American, and she passed away when he was a child.
Well, then there you go. That makes sense. I would ask him a whole bunch of questions about that, and where he's going with that, and how he felt about Brooklyn. I definitely go in on that. Like, how you feel about what you did to Brooklyn, bro? Like, I would come at him hard with that. Yeah. Number 3 for me would be Tom Brady. I'd be like, Tom, talk to me, man. Tell me what really went down, what really happened. And tell the truth. You got mad because Bill Belichick went in there and wanted to get Lamar Jackson, and you got mad, and that's what happened. Tell the truth. That's what I would say to him. That's what I'd ask him. Honestly, everything.
You ain't gonna ask him about the deflate gate?
No, because I don't believe none of that. I don't believe none of that. Not like y'all do. Not like y'all do. I don't believe it like that.
He got blown out by 40. They blaming it on the balls.
Yeah. I wouldn't even touch that. So I'm not asking literally. I'd ask him about this Bill Belichick thing, because if you ask me, everything went downhill right after they lost that Super Bowl to the Eagles, and then the following year when they ended up winning, when they won that year, everything was going down because Belichick wanted to get Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? And he was there, and he passed on him twice. And he says in his book, I passed on him twice. I should have got him. And if he had, he'd still be here. But that's another conversation for another day. Number 2 for me is LeBron James. I would definitely want to talk to LeBron James and be like, bro, why do you think you're king? Like, why do you think you're the king? Like, talk to me. Like, I mean, we everybody says you're the king. You do all this, tell me. And then, of course, I'd get a couple of jokes in there and have him, ease up. But I would definitely ask him that. But number 1 for me, I'd go after Michael Jordan, because I interviewed him before years ago when he was a rookie, and I interviewed him again when he was his second year, and I haven't talked to him or seen him since. So I would definitely be like, come at him from all the stuff that we talked, because he talked a lot of trash back then, and he hadn't won nothing, and everything he said to me then came true, and he said it way back then. So
I got one more, Frank. I got one more.
Give me yours.
Larsa Pippen. I want to talk to her.
He's definitely an athlete.
She's athletic.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Larsa Pippen, been her and Brittany Renner and Andrea and all of them in at the same time.
Yeah. Put them all down in the seat and make it a new reality show. Let's do that. All right. So
I'd be like, so what? I'd be like, so what is your actual NBA body count?
Oh.
Don't James Harden and what's the other dude? What's his name? Got the same baby moms?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
His name.
They all do the same thing. So we can roll up out of here. Howie Bell, you the comic on the show, man. Tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
I'm just amazed at what you just said. They all do the same thing. Why do they all toss around the same women? I don't know. For the life of me, I'm like, y'all got enough money. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to have the same one, do you?
You know how many women out here?
I mean, like, you get the same one.
They in the gym, man. They in the gym. They don't got time, man.
They ain't got time to see a different girl. All right.
They wait till the game's over. They go to the stand like, yo.
You get a woman Uber Eats right now, bro. Damn.
Anybody. Go on Walmart. Her. My name is Howie Bell, by the way. You can keep following me at Howie Bizzell, HOWIEBIZZELL. Had a great time in Chicago this past weekend. And I'm performing at an elementary school this Wednesday, Bagley Elementary School in Detroit. I'm doing a show for the staff, of course, and the staff and and the principal and all that bringing me in. So I'm excited about that, man. You know, the first time I've done a Detroit public school, in a lot of years and doing comedy, so it's pretty good.
And you had the funny comment of the day with literally Scott Webman shooting, and you called him panties like that. I'm gonna clip that and put it everywhere. That was hilarious. Jason Hayes, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Follow me right here at JD Hayes on Fanbase, man. I'm out here.
Yeah, DJ Stacking Over, bro. Tell everybody.
Yeah, follow me here at Stacking Over on Instagram and Twitter, or X as you may call it. But most of my content is gonna be on IG.
And thanks to my man White Chocolate in the background for making the clips and having them on time. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you for that, man. You want to get a word
White Chocolate
before you say something, White Chocolate?
All right. I don't know where to go. I have two, if it's okay.
Go ahead.
I have one for Howie, since he likes to dig in the crates. Most surprising moment in sports. You forgot Caveman 1, Cavewoman nothing, because they were getting dragged around by their hair. But now the women are dragging the men around by their man buns. So you didn't go back far enough there.
yeah, I didn't take it back that far at all.
All right, and one more. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I am going to do it because there's absolutely no way in hell I would want to have a show on Box Seats without my man Stone Cold Steve Austin. Crack one of these on here with him.
Yeah,
I think he'd be good. I think he'd be funny. And so thank you for that.
He'd be great.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
He'd be hilarious. He'd be hilarious. That even makes me want to think that I probably want to get The Rock too, man. I probably would want to interview him because he's so tight. I've interviewed him like 5 times. He's so, tight. You know what I mean? I would like to, bro, relax. Like, let's have a comedy show. You know what I mean? This is what we do. Anyway, y'all, that's the show. The show's called Box Seats. We are on the Humor Mill channel. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all for watching. We'll see y'all again. Thank you. Peace.